Most people ignore old, worn state quarters, but some of these, bad condition, coins could actually be worth a fortune. In this video, we uncover the rare state quarters that collectors value at thousands and even millions of dollars. First up, the 2001 Kentucky State Quarter, quarter dollar, in bad condition, is a circulated United States coin from the 50 State Quarters program, and to fully understand it in a long and detailed way, it is important to explain its origin, design, composition, minting process, circulation life, grading condition, collector value, and overall historical importance, because even a heavily worn coin still carries numismatic and cultural meaning even if it has little monetary value. The 2001 Kentucky Quarter was released by the United States Mint in 2001 as part of a special program that honored each U.S. state in the order they joined the Union, and Kentucky was the 15th state to be featured, with the goal of educating the public and encouraging coin collecting across the country, making it one of the most widely circulated commemorative coin series in American history. This coin was struck at the Denver Mint, indicated by the D Mint mark, which appears near the date on the front side of the coin, and millions upon millions of these coins were produced for everyday use in commerce, meaning they entered circulation in stores, banks, vending machines, and daily transactions across the United States. The coin is made from a copper core layered with a nickel coating, known as copper-nickel clad composition, which gives it a silver-like appearance when new but does not contain any real silver or gold, and over time this surface naturally wears down due to friction, handling, and environmental exposure. The front obverse of the coin features the familiar portrait of George Washington, originally designed by John Flanagan, along with inscriptions, "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and the year, 2001, while the reverse design showcases a symbolic Kentucky scene featuring a thoroughbred horse standing in front of a traditional mansion, representing Kentucky's deep connection to horse breeding, agriculture, and rural heritage, especially its global recognition through the Kentucky Derby, and the design also includes the state name, Kentucky, and the motto, "My Old Kentucky Home," which is taken from a historic American song that holds cultural significance for the state. When a 2001 Kentucky Quarter is described as being in bad condition, it means the coin has experienced heavy circulation wear, which can include smooth or flattened details, scratches, stains, discoloration, edge damage, and loss of original shine, and in numismatic grading terms such coins are often classified in lower grades such as good G4 or very good VG8, where most fine design details like the horse's muscle definition, the mansion's architectural lines, and Washington's facial features become weak or partially invisible due to long-term use. This condition typically occurs because quarters are intended for everyday spending and pass through thousands of hands over many years, often being stored in wallets, cash registers, coin machines, and vending systems, which naturally causes physical degradation. Despite its worn condition, the coin still retains its legal tender status and is always worth 25 cents in normal economic use, and in collector markets it generally has no additional premium unless it has rare minting errors such as double die obverse, off-center strike, die cracks, or other unusual production flaws that increase scarcity and collector demand. However, a standard worn 2001 Kentucky Quarter without errors is considered extremely common because the United States Mint produced hundreds of millions of them, making it one of the most easily found coins in circulation. Collectors still value it as part of the 50 State Quarters program, which is considered a landmark achievement in modern American numismatics because it introduced millions of people, including young collectors, to coin collecting and state history in an accessible way. Even in bad condition, the coin serves as a historical artifact reflecting early 21st century U.S. minting practices, public education efforts through currency design, and the cultural symbolism of Kentucky's identity, but its physical condition significantly reduces any collector interest compared to uncirculated or high-grade examples, and therefore its importance is more educational and historical than financial, making it a common but still meaningful piece of American coin history. Next up, the 2001 Vermont State Quarter 25-cent coin, in bad condition, is a circulated United States coin from the 50 State Quarters program, and to understand it fully in a long and detailed way, we need to explore its background, design, minting process, circulation history, physical condition, and collector value, because even a worn coin still represents an important part of modern U.S. numismatic history. The Vermont Quarter was released in 2001 by the United States Mint as part of a special program that honored all 50 U.S. states with unique reverse designs, and Vermont was chosen as one of the early states in the series to showcase its historical and natural identity, especially its strong connection to maple syrup production and rural landscape heritage. This coin was struck at the Denver Mint, which is indicated by the small d mint mark located on the front side near the date, 2001, and millions of these coins were produced for everyday circulation, meaning they were used widely in shops, banks, vending machines, and daily transactions across the United States, making them very common in the coin market today. The coin is made from a copper core with a nickel coating, copper-nickel clad composition, which gives it a silver-like appearance when new, but over time this surface naturally wears down due to friction, handling, and environmental exposure. On the front obverse of the coin, it features the classic portrait of George Washington, originally designed by John Flanagan, along with inscriptions such as, "Liberty, in God We Trust," and the year, 2001, while the reverse side of the Vermont Quarter showcases a detailed design representing the state's identity, including a maple sugar maker, sap bucket and maple tree theme, symbolizing Vermont's famous maple syrup industry, along with natural elements reflecting the state's forests and rural landscape, and the inscription, "Vermont," along with the state motto, "Freedom and Unity," which reflects Vermont's historical values and political philosophy. When this coin is described as being in bad condition, it means it has gone through heavy circulation use, resulting in visible wear such as faded design details, scratches, darkened or dirty surfaces, smooth edges, loss of shine, and weakened features where important details like Washington's face or the maple imagery may become difficult to see clearly. In numismatic grading terms, such coins are usually classified as good G4 or very good VG8, which are among the lowest collectible grades, indicating long-term circulation damage. This condition occurs because quarters are everyday currency and pass through thousands of hands, machines, and environments over many years, which naturally reduces their physical quality. Despite this heavy wear, the coin still retains its legal tender value of 25 cents, and in most cases it does not gain extra market value unless it contains rare minting errors such as double strikes, die cracks, off-center strikes, or unusual production flaws that make it scarce and collectible. However, a standard 2001 Vermont Quarter in bad condition is extremely common because the U.S. Mint produced hundreds of millions of state quarters, meaning supply is very high and collector demand for worn examples is very low. Even though it is not rare or highly valuable, the coin still holds historical importance as part of the 50 State Quarters program, which was one of the most successful coin programs in U.S. history because it encouraged millions of people to collect coins and learn about American geography, culture, and state identity. The Vermont design in particular is appreciated for representing rural life, maple syrup production, and natural beauty, making it a meaningful artistic representation even if the coin itself is worn and damaged. Overall, the 2001 Vermont State Quarter in bad condition is a common circulated coin with heavy wear, minimal collector value unless it has rare errors, and its real significance lies in its role as part of a nationwide commemorative program rather than its physical condition or monetary worth. Next up, The 2001 Kentucky State Quarter 25-cent coin, in bad condition, is a circulated United States coin from the famous 50 State Quarters program, and to understand it fully in a long and detailed way, we need to explain its origin, design, minting details, circulation history, physical wear, grading condition, collector value, and historical importance, because even a heavily damaged coin still represents part of modern American numismatic history. This coin was issued in 2001 by the United States Mint as part of a nationwide program that honored each U.S. state with a unique commemorative quarter design, and Kentucky was one of the early states selected, reflecting its cultural identity, agricultural heritage, and especially its worldwide reputation for horse breeding and the Kentucky Derby. The coin was produced at the Denver Mint, which is identified by the small d mint mark located on the obverse side near the date, 2001, and millions of these coins were struck for general circulation, meaning they were widely used in everyday transactions such as shopping, banking, vending machines, and cash handling across the United States, making them extremely common in today's coin market. The coin is made from a copper-nickel-clad composition, meaning it has a copper core covered with a nickel outer layer that gives it a silver-like appearance when new, but this surface naturally wears down over time due to friction, handling, and environmental exposure. The front obverse of the coin features the classic portrait of George Washington, originally designed by John Flanagan, along with inscriptions such as, "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and the year, 2001, while the reverse design shows a symbolic representation of Kentucky featuring a thoroughbred horse standing in front of a traditional Kentucky mansion, which represents the state's strong horse culture, agricultural tradition, and historical rural lifestyle, especially its global fame as the horse capital of the world, along with the state name, Kentucky, and the motto, "My Old Kentucky Home," which comes from a famous 19th-century American song deeply associated with Kentucky's cultural identity. When this coin is described as being in bad condition, it means it has experienced heavy circulation wear, which can include faded details, scratches, dirt buildup, discoloration, smooth or flattened surfaces, and loss of original mint shine, making important design features like Washington's facial details, the horse's body, and the mansion structure less visible or partially worn away. In coin grading terms, such heavily circulated coins are typically classified as good G4 or very good VG8, which represent the lowest collectible grades and indicate long-term use in everyday commerce. This level of wear happens because quarters are one of the most frequently used coins in daily life, constantly passing through hands, machines, wallets, and storage environments over many years, which naturally reduces their physical quality. Despite its worn condition, the coin still holds its legal value of 25 cents and remains valid currency, but in the collector market it usually has no extra value unless it contains rare minting errors such as double die strikes, off-center strikes, die cracks, or other production anomalies that increase rarity and demand. However, a normal 2001 Kentucky quarter in bad condition is extremely common because the U.S. Mint produced hundreds of millions of state quarters, making it easily found in circulation and not considered rare. Even though it is not valuable in terms of price, it still has historical significance as part of the 50 State Quarters program, which was one of the most successful coin programs in U.S. history, designed to educate people about American states and encourage coin collecting across the country. The Kentucky design is still appreciated for its artistic representation of horse culture and rural heritage, but its worn condition greatly reduces its collector appeal. Overall, the 2001 Kentucky State Quarter in bad condition is a common circulated coin with heavy wear, minimal monetary value beyond face value, and importance mainly in historical and educational context rather than rarity or high price, making it a typical example of everyday American coinage rather than a rare or highly valuable collectible. Please like and subscribe to my channel.